Hello Nistas and Nistas, how are you today? Welcome back to the channel. I want to thank you guys for coming back to the channel. I'm SavingsFashionista. This is Nistas Nation. And over here we do mainly things fragrances, whether it's body or home. And today, you guys, as promised, we are here to talk about my top clean girl designer and niche perfumes. So if you're interested in hearing about that, all right, you know the drill, you know the request. If you are a part of the nation, if you would, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. If you are not and you like what you see over here, if you would, go ahead, subscribe, and give the video a thumbs up as well, and also turn on your notifications so you will know when I upload content. So you guys, if you have not checked out my Clean Girl fragrances from Bath & Body Works, these are Clean Girl type of body mist fragrances, you guys. But today, as promised, I want to talk to you about my Clean Girl designer and niche brand fragrances. So what I will do, I will just give you some of the scent notes in the fragrances. I will not give you all of them to bore you. And I will just give you my little input on how I feel about these fragrances. Now, let's start off. What I mean by Clean Girl fragrances. Clean Girl fragrances are fragrances that are powdery, musky, aldehydic, aquatic, meringue, and just those subtle fragrances that you enjoy, or I enjoy wearing, especially during the hot months. I do like my florals in the spring, but there are also times where I prefer to just have that clean girl type of fragrance. So all of these fragrances, in some type of way, they fall into those fragrance profiles. So we're going to start off with one of my favorites. Musk is one of my all-time favorite fragrance notes. So I've also done a video in the past where I talked about my favorite fragrance notes in a fragrance, whether it be body care or if it's a niche or designer brand. So the first fragrance is Pure Musk by Narciso Rodriguez. This is Pure Musk for her. This fragrance is a remake for the fragrance Essence by Narciso Rodriguez. Now, I received a sample from my essay some time ago, long time ago, when I first started wearing Bun No. 9, and my essay was really big on trying to get me to explore other fragrances. But I had just gotten so deep off into Bun No. 9, like I tell you all the time, there was a time where those were the only fragrances that I had in my collection. So she convinced me to get the Narciso Essence. Oh my God, and it was so good. So I don't know why they remade this fragrance, but this is a very nice fill-in. It is almost the same, but I do remember it being just a little different than this. But it is a very great substitute. So Pure Musk, it has very simple fragrance notes in it. It has musk, it has some florals, and it has cashmere. This is your clean girl type of fragrance. And the thing that I like about this particular musk, this musk is long lasting and you're going to get loads of compliment. If I had to pull out my strongest musk in my collection, it would definitely be this. This is Pure Musk by Narciso Rodriguez. All right, the next fragrance is also a fragrance house that my lovely, well, she has retired. So my girl Dora, she retired and she was so good to me at the time that she was at Saks. But she also introduced me to this brand as well. And this is the Jo Malone brand. This is Jo Malone, Cardamon, and Mimosa and Cardamon. Oh my God, this is so good. This is a soapy type of fragrance. It's fresh, it's soapy. It has like this aquatic note to it. It has notes of cardamom, mimosa, and tonka bean. This is so good. And when I saw the tonka bean, a lot of times when I think of tonka bean, I think of a gourmand note. But this right here, it is really, really good. Now, this right here is just the cologne version. And I must say, disclaimer, this is just my body, my skin, and my experiences. A lot of people say that Jo Malone does not last. I beg to differ, and I tell you that anytime I feature a Jo Malone over here on my channel, this lasts on me all day. The great thing about Jo Malone fragrances is that they are very versatile, not just within the house of Jo Malone, but even on the outside of the house with Jo Malone. With other brands, other fragrances, other body care items, they are very, very versatile. I really like this. I also like to layer this with my Myrrh and Tonka, because Myrrh and Tonka, it can be a bit overwhelming for me, even in the cold months. It's just a little too intense, and applying a little of that with this, it really allows me to be able to enjoy and share and wear that fragrance during that time. But this is Jo Malone's Mimosa and Cardamon. This is a really good fragrance. All right, the next fragrance that I have, and I have my little notes here, you guys, so I can stay on point. The next fragrance is one of my favorites from the Nishane brand. And I found this fragrance just merely off discovery. I need to do a review on this fragrance because I haven't seen or heard many people talk about this fragrance. Now, they talk about the popular ones, 100 Silent Ways, Ani, and what's that other one? I don't even know. Hachivat, which I don't really care for that one. But this one right here, this right here is soap, deodorized soap, in my opinion, put on 1000. So if you want one of those very fresh soapy fragrances, you definitely want to try this Nanshe by Nishane. So if I had to categorize this in the category as clean fragrances, this does lean a little bit more heavier for men. However, I do think if you are a female and you definitely like those nuclear type of fragrances, but you want something nuclear and the scent profile of clean and fresh, this is definitely a good one. This fragrance has notes of carrot seed, cardamom, it has some bergamot, it has my favorite jasmine sambac, it has powdery notes, it has some orris, and it has musk. So this is a beautiful, beautiful. And this fragrance is so long lasting. It lasts for hours, a very long time. And the thing about Nishane, the two, I only have two. The two that I have in my fragrance collection, even after you put your clothes into the soiled clothes hamper, when you're doing your laundry, you can still smell this fragrance days later after you've worn it all day. This is so good. So again, this is Nanshe by Nishane. This next fragrance comes from the house of K.I. Lee. So I want to give a shout out to my girl Mona and her team over there. This fragrance is one of those fragrances that is not spoke of a whole lot. If you know, you know, because when I run across it in other content creators' content, I am really like, you know, because it's like, okay, no one gets this but me, but there are other people out there that gets this. But this fragrance is Musk 12 by K.I. Lee. Musk 12. It has fragrance notes of freesia, musk, jasmine, and sandalwood. And the good thing about this fragrance, as with most of Mona's fragrances, that they are very good for layering. This is one of those fragrances, you guys, I tell you all the time, I do not wear fragrances to bed. And I think it has a lot to do with my sinus issues or whatever. But this is definitely one of those fragrances, if there's a need for me to put on something just a little bit spicier and, you know, a little bit more nice than just my regular body care after showering. This is definitely one of those type of fragrances that it is safe to wear to bed, or just really to kind of like lounge around the house for cuddling. But let's not stop there. This is also a very nice fragrance that can be layered with anything that has musk in it, and you're really trying to amp that musk up in that fragrance. And sometimes I use fragrances that are kind of subtle. I will use them to kind of like tone other fragrances down. You know how you have some fragrances that are just overly nuclear, but you do want to smell it and experience it on that particular day or event. So this right here, I would use this as my primary, and then I will put that other one on to just kind of balance out some of the depthness of another fragrance. But again, this is Musk 12 by K.I. Lee. All right, and my next one, I am so excited about this. I got this for my birthday. This was a birthday present, and I love when they listen and they hear me. So this is Delina's LaRoseè. Now, this is Delina, but this is Delina in mild down, airy, just very quiet, subtle like. Now, I really try to share and be versatile, because sometimes I notice, even following certain content creators, you know, I love their content, and I notice that they have this certain, you know, thing that they like about fragrances, and sometimes those fragrances, all of them, they just be too overpowering for me at certain times of the year. So I really try to be mindful of that, and I try to share my authentic self when I'm sharing these fragrances with you. But I said all of that to say this. Now, you know, Delina has been, and she still carries her crown, the it girl and the fragrance content, Delina and Delina exclusive. But this right here, you get that same beautiful, pretty, rosy type of fragrance, but it is way more airy and just soft. This is so beautiful. To be honest with you, out of all three, I don't even own the original Delina. I had it before, but I did not like it to the point where I ended up returning it. But I did end up getting the Delina exclusive, because that one is a little bit more tolerable. But if I had to rate them, the LaRoseè, the exclusive, and the original Delina, this would definitely be my favorite one. It has fragrance notes of rose, lychee, bergamot, aquatics, musk, and vetiver. And it is just a beautiful, soft, you can get that bergamot note in it. You definitely get the lychee, but it is a much watered down, musky type of Delina. The next fragrance is from my favorite house. What is my favorite house? Nistas, what is Fashionista's favorite fragrance house? You got it. Bond number 9. So this fragrance came from the house of Bond number 9. And for those of you who know, you know. And for those of you who don't, let me just explain to you. Bond number 9 is a New York-based company, and their fragrances are named after landmarks and monumental places within the state of New York. So, and mainly Manhattan, the city of New York, city and state of New York. So this is Shelter Island. Shelter Island is a part of the beach. I think they call it Beaches or Island, the Island collection. But I know I have this one. I think I have 2 more. I know for sure that I have Coney Island in my collection. And I think I have another one of the Island collections. But this is Shelter Island. Now, Shelter Island, even just looking at this, it looks more masculine. But trust me, I feel that all of Bond number 9 fragrances are unisex. Fragrances, I am really learning. I'm getting to the point now. I do think that some creators create fragrances just for her and some just for him. But honestly, you wear what you want when you want to wear it, you know, based on how you feel and what your likings is. But this is definitely one of those fresh, aquatic type of fragrances. So it has the perfect name. It has fragrance notes of lemon, black pepper, seaweed, white lily, musk, oud, and sandalwood. This is so good. This is definitely your summer type of fragrance. This definitely gives vacation vibes, in my opinion. It's like a vacation vibey type of fragrance without the exotic fruits and the coconuts. It is so beautiful, and it layers really well with a lot of my body care. So again, this is Shelter Island by Bond number 9. Now this next fragrance is definitely one of those nostalgic type of, not fragrances, I'm just gonna say fragrance house. That's the thing that I like about this particular house, because they really know how to capture a moment in time and put a nostalgic fragrance to it. That's what I really, really enjoy about this particular house. So if you know where I'm going, yes. from Replica. This is Lazy Sunday Morning from Replica by Maison Margiela. And the name of their fragrances, that's the moment in time that they're trying to capture and put it in a bottle. Some examples will be Jazz Club, Springtime in the Park, Beach Walk, On a Date, which I just recently reviewed. You can check the review out up top. But this is Lazy Sunday Morning. And this fragrance, it really does invoke that type of ideology in your head. But it's a really fresh, clean, just cool, laid back type of fragrance. This fragrance has notes of aldehydes, lily of the valley, pear, iris, and musk. So again, this is Replica's Lazy Sunday Morning. All right, so the next fragrance is another one that is new to my collection. I just hauled this one in my recent fragrance haul. This is 724 by Maison Margiela. This fragrance has notes of bergamot, jasmine, aldehydes, and musk. I don't have a whole lot to say about this one because I've only worn it once since I had it. And it is a clean, fresh girl guy type of fragrance. So let me just give a disclaimer. A lot of these fragrances that I have called, they are unisex fragrance, and some of them lean a little bit more towards masculine. And I do have those type of clean girl fragrances in my collection for this reason, because sometimes if you're going out on a date, if you're going to an event and you still want to have that clean girl fragrance or clean guy fragrance vibe, I think these are just a little bit more stronger than some that are not as strong. But this is a really nice fragrance. This was one of the fall release fragrance. It wasn't the time of year for it, definitely. So if you sampled it during that time, I would just suggest that you go back into store, sample it again, wear it around the store, and see how you feel about it. But again, this is 724 by Maison Francis Kurkdijan. All right, and the next fragrance, this is also a new one. So you see, you guys, I did want to add some newer ones to my collection because quite a few of these I have featured in other videos on my channel, but I did want to add something a little different but in the same fragrance category to my clean girl fragrances. But this one is You. This fragrance amazes me. I don't have a whole lot to say about it now because I just got it and I really haven't experienced it. But this fragrance is the fragrance that you're supposed to wear, and it's totally skin. Not totally skin, but it's one of those type of skin fragrances. You wear the fragrance, it mixes in with your personal body chemistry and pheromones, and it develops or it evolves into something that's different and unique for you. So that's why I was really excited about getting this fragrance. But very simple notes. It has musk, it has powdery notes, and iris. So again, this is You by Glossier. All right, so this next fragrance is a very popular fragrance in the fragrance community. It has about 2 or 3 sisters that goes along with this particular collection from this designer house. And this is Chance Eau Tendre by Chanel. This fragrance has notes of kinks, grapefruit, rose, and musk. Now, the Eau Tendre Chance with the white label on it, but it's still in a pink bottle. It is very similar to this one. This is just a stronger version of the white label one. But you have the one that's in green, and I think there's another one. They are different. They're a little different. But this is the fresh, clean, soft girl type of fragrance. The green one, it gives you like that freshness too, but this is definitely one of those fresh, airy type of fragrance. It has very beautiful fragrance. This is one of those signature fragrances. Well, really all of these could be a signature fragrance because of the profile that they're in, but this is definitely one of those pretty signature girly type of fragrance. Very girly. This is definitely for the girls. Very pretty, beautiful fragrance. Love it. So glad to have it. Always have it in my collection. When I spray it up, I get another one. So again, this is Chance by Chanel. Now I went in these different conversations within myself. Should you include that one? No, I don't include it because you talk about it all the time. What more can you say about it? How much more can you express? It's your favorite. You know, you've had a dozen bottles of it. I mean, they get it, okay? So these are the conversations that I'm having with myself. But guess what? I would be remiss if I did not include this in this video, because guess what? This is the fragrance that sparked that clean, fresh, pretty fragrance DNA thing within me to say, hey, this is one of your favorite type of fragrance. This is your favorite profile. So it's none other, if you know me, you know this, Scent of Peace by Bun number 9. I'm just gonna put it here. So just leave down in the comments if you know what it serves and what it gives, and let's just share. You can share. I'm gonna be quiet about it. I'm just gonna tell you the fragrance notes, and if you've been around and you know me, you know what this is about and how dear I hold this to my fragrance component within my heart. So this fragrance has notes of grapefruit, lily of the valley, blackcurrant, musk, and Virginia cedar. This is another pretty girl, fresh, airy, aquatic, a little citrus, musky type of fragrance. If you don't like this, I guess you just don't like it. It's not for you. But I think if I lined up about 10 ladies, 70%, they're gonna like it. So this is by far the fragrance in my collection. If someone came into my home and said, hey, it's a new law, you can only have one fragrance, yeah, I would cry, scream, have a temper tantrum, and fall out on the floor, and, you know, just have this big, massive ordeal. But when it came down to it, and I really thought about, okay, this is the rule, this is the law, this would be the one with no questions asked. I would try to bargain to keep a couple others, but this would definitely be the fragrance that if I could only have one, it's gonna be this one. And that is Scent of Peace for Her by Bun number 9. So you guys, this concludes my clean, fresh, pretty girl type of fragrance. Please leave in the comments below, because I am open to experiencing and adding more of these type of fragrances to my collection, because I think that that is like one of my top fragrance DNAs. There are various ones that I like, but this one is my safe place, and it still provides me with the prettiness that I need in a fragrance, and the components and the fragrance notes of a fragrance that makes me feel like the girl that I want to feel like. If you have any suggestions on other clean, fresh, airy, aquatic, meringue type of fragrances that may fit into this category, please share those in the comments below, because I really want to expand my clean girl type of fragrance, because like I said, at one point in time, it was only and always about Scent of Peace for Her by number 9. So I want to thank you guys again for coming back to the channel. Please leave any comments, questions, or suggestions below in a nice, kind way. And do not forget, you, yes you are great. Bye-bye.